Just pass that water. Thank you. بسم الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك وأتوجه إليك بنبيك نبي رحمة محمد صلى الله عليه وآله. يا أبا القاسم يا رسول الله يا إمام الرحمة يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وكدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا أمير المؤمنين يا علي بن أبي طالب يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا فاطمة الزهراء يا بنت محمد يا فاطمة الزهراء يا بنت محمد يا قرة العين رسول يا سيدتنا ومولانا يا سيدتنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها المجتبى يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا عبد الله يا أبا عبد الله يا حسين بن علي أيها الشهيد أيها الشهيد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا مولانا، إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله، وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله، اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن، يا علي بن الحسين، يا زين العابدين، يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا يا مولانا، إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله، وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله، اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا جعفر، يا أبا جعفر، يا محمد بن علي أيها الباكر، يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا يا مولانا، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله، وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله، اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا عبد الله، يا جعفر بن محمد أيها الصادق، يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله، وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله، اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن، يا موسى ابن جعفر أيها القائم، يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله، وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله، اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن، يا علي بن موسى أيها الرضا، يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله، وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله، اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا جعفر، يا محمد بن علي أيها التكي الجواد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن محمد أيها الحادي النكي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله عند الله يا أبا محمد يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها الزكي العسكري يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
Sorry about this.
يا وسيع الحسن وخل
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Thank you.
بسم الله يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها الزكي العسكري يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلا الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله
اللهم صل على محمد.
يا وسيع الحسن الحلف الحجة أيها القائم المنكر المهدي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا وتشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها إن الله اشفع لنا إن الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله حاجات.
صلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. We are here today in the UK on the night of 5th Muharram, Shabbat of 6th Muharram. We have, due to the pandemic here in the UK, most of the mosques are not open. So we have organized majalises in and around UK, in our houses, in our azakhanas. Today, inshallah, for the viewers who are watching on YouTube and on Facebook on channel Tafsir E Aza, please, is a request for my dear brother Ali Tafsir, who is not very well. He unfortunately has a very bad throat infection. So please recite a Fatiha for his quick recovery. And inshallah, please recite a Fatiha for all your takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Nara Risalat.
Ya Rasulullah.
Nara Risalat.
Ya Rasulullah.
Nara Haidari.
Ya Ali.
Nara Haidari.
Ya Ali.
Husainiyat.
Zindabad.
Husainiyat.
Zindabad.
Yazidiyat. Yazidiyat. Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad Balantar Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إلهي كيف أدعوك وأنا وكيف أكثر رجائي منك وأنت إلهي إذا لم أسألك فتعطيني فمن ذا الذي أسأله فيعطيني إلهي إذا لم أدعوك فتستجيب لي فمن ذا الذي أدعو فيستجيب لي إلهي إذا لم أتزره إليك فتلزمني فمن ذا الذي أتزره إليه فيرحمني إلهي فكما خلقت البحر لموسى عليه السلام وأن أجيته وأسألك أن تصلي على محمد وآل محمد صلى الله
محمد وآل محمد
وأن تنجيني مما أنا فيه وتفرجني فرجا أجلا وعين أجل بفضلك ورحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين
اللهم صل على محمد وآل
I would like to invite our young brother Salman to come to the front and recite a few words. Bismillah.
اللهم صل على محمد
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad Brantar Salawat.
गूंजी बाबा तेरा आश्रय सदा मैं हुसैन हूँ गूंजी बाबा तेरा आश्रय सदा मैं हुसैन हूँ गूंजी बाबा के आश्रय सदा काटो ना मेरा होस्ट गला हाय काटो ने मेरा होस्ट गला मैं हुसैन हूँ गूंजी बाबा के आश्रय सदा मैं हुसैन हूँ गूंजी बाबा तेरा आश्रय सदा अम्मा किसी ने पानी की एक बूंद भी न दी अम्मा किसी ने पानी की एक बूंद भी न दी मैं बार बार कहता रहा हाय मैं बार बार कहता रहा मैं हुसैन हूँ गूंजी बाबा के आश्रय सदा मैं हुसैन हूँ गूंजी बाबा के आश्रय ऐ शामियों का फन्ना दिया मुझको गम नहीं ऐ शामियों का फन्ना दिया मुझको गम नहीं दे दो मेरी बहन को रिदा हाय दे दो मेरी बहन को रिदा मैं हुसैन हूँ गूंजी बाबा के आश्रय सदा मैं हुसैन हूँ गूंजी बाबा के आश्रय सदा जानू बेरा के सर को कहा एक ज़ईफ़ ने जानू बेरा के सर को कहा एक ज़ईफ़ ने अकबर कहाँ है दर्द बता हाय अकबर कहाँ है दर्द बता मैं हुसैन हूँ गूंजी बाबा तेरा श्री सदा मैं हुसैन हूँ गूंजी बाबा तेरा सिरे सदा मैं हुसैन गूंजीगा तेरा सिरे सदा काटो ना मेरा खुश्क गला हाय काटो ना मेरा खुश्क गला मैं हुसैन हूँ जी बाबा तेरा सिरे सदा मैं हुसैन हूँ जी बाबा तेरा सिरे सदा मैं हुसैन हूँ जी बाबा तेरा सिरे सदा
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad Lankar Salawat. Now I would like to invite my dear brother Ali Sheikh to come forward and do zikr wa ali Muhammad wa ali Muhammad Lankar Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad Lankar Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala
दुश्मन को लानत बीवी के दुश्मन को लानत जिसके दिल में वो ज़ेर है सो लानत हमारा हैदरी तौहीद से हुसैन की है आ गई कमाल तौहीद से हुसैन की है आ गई कमाल के अब तक हुसैन बान रहा है वही कमाल के अब तक हुसैन बान रहा है वही कमाल तौहीद से हुसैन की है आ गई कमाल और खंजर तले नमाज सिना पर कलाम हक खंजर तले नमाज सिना पर कलाम हक वो जिंदगी कमाल है ये जिंदगी कमाल के अब तक हुसैन बान रहा है वही कमाल तौहीद से हुसैन की है आ गई कमाल और खूने हुसैन खाक में फिर खाक से शिफा और खूने हुसैन खाक में फिर खाक से शिफा जुल्मत भी कमाल है चारागरी कमाल अब तक हुसैन बान रहा है वही कमाल तौहीद से हुसैन की है आ गई कमाल और बस एक गमे हुसैन ही वजह निजात है और बस एक गमे हुसैन ही वजह निजात है रंजीदगी कमाल है आसूदगी कमाल के अब तक हुसैन बान रहा है वही कमाल तौहीद से हुसैन की है आ गई कमाल। और हर दुश्मनी हुसैन का दुश्मन है किबरिया। और हर दुश्मनी हुसैन का दुश्मन है किबरिया। वो दुश्मनी कमाल है, ये दोस्ती कमाल। के अब तक हुसैन बान रहा है वही कमाल। तौहीद से हुसैन की है आ गई कमाल। और मौका मिले कभी तो जरा हुर से पूछना। और मौका मिले कभी तो जरा हुर से पूछना। वो सरवरी कमाल है, ये नौकरी कमाल। के अब तक हुसैन बान रहा है वही कमाल। तौहीद से हुसैन की है आ गई कमाल। के भाई कहा है हुर को प्यासे हुसैन ने। के भाई कहा है हुर को प्यासे हुसैन ने। तिश्नाल भी कमाल है, दरिया दिली कमाल। के अब तक हुसैन बान रहा है वही कमाल। कि सजदे में सर झुका हुआ, नेज़े पे सर बुलंद। कि सजदे में सर झुका हुआ, नेज़े पे सर बुलंद। इकरार भी कमाल है, इनकार भी कमाल। के अब तक हुसैन तौहीद से हुसैन की है आ गई कमाल। मोहम्मद वाल मोहम्मद बुलंदर
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
नारे तकबीर,
अल्लाहु अकबर।
नारे रिसालत,
या रसूल अल्लाह।
कुल्ले ईमान, नारा हैदरी।
या अली।
असल में जिंदगी, असल में जिंदगी मेरे मौला अली की विला है। असल में जिंदगी तू वदुए अली जाहिरी तौर पर जी रहा है। असल में जिंदगी मौलाना जनाब मिसर तमार मौला के इश्क में मौला का नाम इसके दर लिए करते थे, अली अली करते थे कि इस इश्क में इनको सूली पर लटकाया गया और इनको एक खजूर के दरख्त के पास ले गया और कहा गया मीसम देखो इस दरख्त को, इसके साथ तुम्हें सूली पर लटकाया जाएगा अली अली करने के जुर्म में। तो जनाब मिसर तमार फरमाते हैं, मैं उस वक्त से जानता हूँ इसे कि जिस वक्त ये की पौधा ही था जवां हो चुका है बफजले खुदा। यही तो है महवर मेरी आस का, तो दिखाएगा क्या, तो दिखाएगा क्या, ये तो मेरा ही पाला हुआ है।
नारा हैदरी
असल में जिंदगी ऐसी आरज़ू में कटी जिंदगी, हुई तो मुझे आजमाए कभी, वो आए घड़ी मैं भी सूली चढ़ूं, मेरा इश्क भी रंग लाए कभी, अब तो इस मौत में, अब तो इस मौत में जिंदगी से भी बढ़कर मजा है। माशाअल्लाह। असल में जिंदगी। और फिर कहा गया, मीसम अगर तुमने अली अली करना ना छोड़ा तो तुम्हारी जुबान कलम कर दी जाएगी। तो जनाब मीसम में तुम्हारा फरमाते हैं, जफाए उधर आजमाओगे तुम, इधर प्यार के गीत गाऊंगा मैं, ज़बा काट दो अब ज़बा से नहीं, अमल से तुम्हें ये बताऊंगा मैं, प्यार कैसे भला, प्यार कैसे भला बेज़बां हो के भी बोलता है। असल में जिंदगी।
नारा हैदरी।
असल में जिंदगी मेरे मौला अली की विला है। असल में जिंदगी। नारा हैदरी। मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद बुलंदर सलावत। Now I would like to invite my dear brother Sayyid Tahir Kazmi to come to member of Imam Hussain and to recite a few words on behalf of the Ahlul Bayt. For Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
नारे तकबीर,
Allahu Akbar.
नारे तकबीर,
Allahu Akbar.
नारे रिसालत,
Ya Rasulullah.
नारे रिसालत,
Ya Rasulullah.
कुल्ले ईमान कुल्ला कुरान नारा हैदरी।
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
एक सूरह फातिहा तमाम मुमिनीन के लिए, ख़ुसूसन सलमान आज़मी मेरा भाई, उसने मेरे लिए उसके लिए ख़ुसूसन सूरह फातिहा। इजाज़त दीजिए, मैं वक्त को देख के सिर्फ सलमान आज़मी के 2 शेर पढ़ूंगा।
माशाअल्लाह, बिस्मिल्लाह।
कि ईमान बदलते रहते हैं, कुरान बदलते रहते हैं, ईमान बदलते रहते हैं, कुरान बदलते रहते हैं, कुछ लोग रसूल सादिक के फरमान बदलते रहते हैं। ईमान बदलते रहते हैं, कुरान बदलते रहते हैं, कुछ लोग रसूल सादिक के फरमान बदलते रहते हैं। रिजवान जुना जिब्रील अमी, मीसम है कभी कंबर है कभी। रिजवान जुना जिब्रील अमी, मीसम है कभी कंबर है कहीं। दहलीज पे जहरा की अक्सर दरबान बदलते रहते हैं। कि दहलीज पे जहरा की अक्सर दरबान बदलते रहते हैं। और ये मुनकिरों के लिए, दोज़ख में जले तू आतिश से, दोज़ख में जले तू आतिश से, दुनिया में जले तू मातम से। दोजख में जले तू आतिश से, दुनिया में जले तू मातम से, ए मुनकिर मातम तेरे लिए शमशान बदलते रहते हैं। और एक मौला की ज़ियारत के लिए कि दीदार करूं मर मर उनका या खुद से नजफ में जा पहुंचूं, दीदार करूं मर मर उनका या खुद से नजफ में जा पहुंचूं, इस दिल में अली से मिलने के अरमान बदलते रहते हैं, इस दिल में अली से मिलने के अरमान बदलते रहते हैं। बारे दिया सलवात। और करंट क्लाइमेट को देखिए, हम लोग यहाँ पे फिर भी फर्श ज़्यादा बिठा के रखे हैं, उसके लिहाज से मैं एक सलाम पेश करता हूँ। शम्म से शम्मा जले, सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे या न रहे, ये अज़ादारी रहे। शम्मा से शम्मा जले, सिलसिला जारी रहे। समझ के पढ़िए, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये रहे। शम्मा से शम्मा जले, सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये कि अपनी नस्लों को सिखाते रहो मातम का हुनर, सीना दर सीना करे बस ये आजादारी सफर, जैसे हालात भी हो ये अमल जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आजादारी रहे। शम्मा से शम्मा जले, सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आजादारी रहे। कि लाख बदले ये ज़माने की रविश और मौसम, एक पल भी ना रुके अश्के अज़ार मातम, मातम शाही जनू ज़हन पर तारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आजादारी रहे। शम्मा से शम्मा जले, सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आजादारी। तुम अगर साकिर शबीर हो ये याद रहे, चाहे से गम के लिए सर भी कटे घर भी जले, हुर्मत फर्शे अज़ा जान से प्यारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आजादारी रहे है। शम्मा से शम्मा जले, सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आजादारी कि ये सबीले यूं ही आबाद रहे हैं, और घर घर पे नजर आए अलम गाजी का, ये अलम ऊंचा रहे, ये अलमदारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आजादारी है। शम्मा से शम्मा जले, सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे यार
ये आजादारी
के माँ बहनों को पैगाम मेरा सिर्फ यही, अपने बच्चों को जुलूसों से नहीं रोको कभी। ये शहादत है शरफ, ये शरफ जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आजादारी रहे। शम्मा से शम्मा जले, सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे या
ये आजादारी
बारह दिगर सब दो शायर सकीना के। चल सकीना चले करबला, चल सकीना चले करबला, साथ बाबा के रहना सदा। चल सकीना चले करबला, साथ बाबा के रहना सदा। कि मुझसे बिछड़ी तो सोई नहीं मेरी जान, एक एक सांस तुम पर है कोहे गरा, और उस पर से तुम कैद की सख्तियां, तेरी आहों बुका पर भी पाबंदियां, इसलिए कर रहा हूँ बुका। चल सकीना चले करबला, चल सकीना चले करबला, साथ बाबा के रहना है यहाँ सिर्फ तन्हाई तारीखियाँ, ये घुटन और तकदीर की बेड़ियाँ। चाहने वाले तेरे तो सब है वहाँ, चैन आता है अपनों के ही दरमियाँ, छोड़ कर अब वो शहरे जफा। चल सकीना चले करबला, चल सकीना चले करबला, साथ बाबा के याद करता है असगर तुझे मेरी जान, तुझको आवाज देता है वो बेज़बान। वो वहाँ रह गया गई तू यहाँ, वो वहाँ ना तू यहाँ ना, चैन दोनों को आजा देगा। चल सकीना चले करबला, चल सकीना चले करबला, साथ बाबा के। और आखिरी मसला, अब ना तलवारों नेज़ा है ना तीर है, करबला अब तो गाजी की जागीर है, तेरा बाबा के ख्वाबों की ताबीर है, एक आगोश है जिसमें बेशीर है, दिल ये तेरा बहल जाएगा। चल सकीना चले करबला, चल सकीना चली करबला, साथ बाबा के रहना सदा। हमारे दिखे सलमान।
अरे बैठ के दुश्मन पे लाना है।
पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद बुलंद कर Inshallah, I'm going to recite a small dua in Punjabi Saraiki language, and straight after I would like to invite our dear brother Kumail Kanji to come to the stage and to recite Zikr Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. First, I'd like to request for everybody to recite a loud salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
बार मलाल विलायत दा कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ, बार मलाल विलायत दा कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ, बार मलाल विलायत दा कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ, चादर ज़ैनब दा सदका कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ, चादर ज़ैनब दा सदका कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ, पार वाला विलायत दा कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ, मौला फातिमा सुगरा वांगू हर एक बैन गरीब नु तांगू, मौला फातिमा सुगरा वांगू हर एक बैन गरीब नु तांगू, मुद्दत दे विछड़े वीर मिला कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ, मुद्दत दे विछड़े वीर मिला कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ, बाहर वाला विलायत दा कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ, कदल सन ओडी खुशियां दे के दीवले आसन वतनात, कदल सन ओडी खुशियां दे के दीवले आसन वतनात, रल मिल बैसन भैन बिरा कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ, रल मिल बैसन भैन बिरा कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ, बाहर मलाल विलायत जा कर लिल्ला मंजूर दुआ। सलावत
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद बुलंद कर सलावत।
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي نور قلوبنا بأنوار المحبة العلوية، وأكمل لنا ديننا بولاية المرتزوية، وتم نعمته علينا بهداية الحيدرية، ونصلي ونسلم على سيد من خلق المؤمن الحق بالحق، حبيب إلهنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
صلى الله عليه وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الهداة المهديين، سيما الحجة بقية الله في الأرضين، سيدنا ومولانا وصاحب قلبنا الإمام الحجة أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من يوم إداوتهم إلى يوم الدين. وأما بعد، فقد قال الله المجيد في كتابه المجيد وقوله الحق: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل يا عبادي الذين أسرفوا على أنفسهم لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله إن الله يغفر الذنوب جميعا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Brothers and sisters who are listening on the live stream, Assalamu alaikum. In these mad times, crazy times, we have returned back to the original sunnah of the deen. This is how it all started. The Majlis of Imam Hussein started in their houses of the Ahlul Bayt, and they got back from Karbala. Although we all know the first proper Majlis of Azad Imam Hussein was held at Darbar Yazid. That was the first public Majlis. But when the Ahlul Bayt got back to Medina, they would gather around each other's houses every year. Whichever Imam came after the events of Karbala, they would hold the Majalises in their homes. Why? Because wherever you hold the name of Hussein, it automatically becomes the land of Karbala. We have hadiths from the 6th Imam that he says wherever two people are sat together and the name of Hussein is just mentioned, the name of Hussein is mentioned, the third person that comes amongst them is the spirit of my mother Zahra alayhi salam. So you see, we may feel, okay, the majalises are being shut down now and we can't gather in huge crowds, and we always, you see, we've become accustomed to everything is grandeur. If there is no grandeur, we sometimes don't feel satiated ourselves. Like someone holds a majlis, if suddenly only 10 people turn up, he gets a bit disheartened and he goes, oh, maybe my majlis is not special. Maybe Ahlul Bayt didn't want people to come to my house, to my majlis. We see things in numbers. We think, oh, if a Julus has got 10,000 people, or look at Karbala, Arba'in, 20 million people turn up. We think this is the grandeur of Ahlul Bayt. Suddenly the numbers, the capacity, or even the structures of the place. We think of the place that has the most beautiful tile work, the most biggest land, or is the nicest part of London. This place must be the place. But I'm telling you, in this entire creation, in the entire universe, from day one to the day that all of this will come to an end and it will all be changed into a different earth and the Qiyamah will become about, there's only been one majlis on this earth that has been 100% accepted, that the people that participated in that majlis were the most understanding, the most knowledgeable people, that one majlis is enough for the entire world. If there was no other majlises, in that majlis there was only 5 people. That was enough. The Hadith of Kisar, in that majlis there are only 5 people. And that majlis is the only majlis that's accepted, guaranteed 100% in this entire universe. So it's not about the number of people, it's not about these things. And realize how blessed you are that you are allowed in your house to raise the name of Hussein. في بيوت أذن الله أن ترفع فيها اسمه. Allah says in the Quran, there are certain houses that we give permission for the name of God to be raised. I like to say to you that now that we have been, and listen, everything happens for a reason. There's no coincidence. I've always said this many years. There's no such thing as coincidence. First of all, there's no such thing as luck. Second thing, there's no such thing as coincidence. We do not believe this. We don't believe in luck and coincidence. Everything is calculated. We have a master creator. Everything is calculated. So there's a reason behind all of this. It's the reason why we have gone back to our traditions. Maybe our majalises were going the wrong way. I don't know. Who knows? But we can see sometimes with our own eyes that certain things are happening and doesn't agree with the rituals of Imam Hussein and the Ahlul Bayt. There seems to be something else is in play. I don't want to get into that too much. But now that we've gone back to our roots, and now we've gone back to our homes, let's carry this on after a while. I'm not saying hold majalises openly, but in your homes every Thursday night. You don't have to recite anything. If you've got a wife, you've got children, your mother and father are alive, whoever's there, just sit 5 minutes on a Thursday night and just say, Sallallahu alayhi ya Aba Abdullah. Let's say that, that's it. But keep this Thursday night, keep the Karbala going in your homes. The other thing we've seen recently with this COVID-19, a virus that we can't see. Has anyone seen it? I don't think even the scientists have seen it. There's a virus, okay, they say there's a virus. But look at the precautions everyone takes. face masks, cleaning, sanitizing. I don't think this country's ever been this clean, honestly. Honestly, especially the people, they want to, they're great. They don't want to shake your hands. It's great, honestly. It's been brilliant. But anyway, but can you see the fear of a virus has led people to be so clean? They put up screens, they wear masks, they wear gloves, they wipe everything down. Why? Because we fear death. That's why we do it. Yeah? But what about the disease of the heart? What about the diseases of the heart that we so easily allow to come inside our heart, to take root, and to destroy us? And it is this sifat, we call this in Arabic sifat. It means the qualities, the characteristics of a person that will save them. Doesn't matter how much you prayed, that's what wajibat. Allah has asked you to do something. As a Muslim, I've said this many times before, and people don't like me saying this because this majlis is a bit more informal and we're all friends, inshallah. We're all Shias, inshallah. I personally don't believe in the concept of religion. I don't believe in the concept of religion at all. I don't think there's such a thing as religion. The way religion has been set up now, it's a very organized setup. It's been created to create division amongst us, Sunni, Shia, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Jew. It's just been created to create division. Whereas Ahlul Bayt are not about division. Allah is not about division. Allah is all about unity. Ahlul Bayt all about unity. So wherever you see, even amongst the family, and amongst the Shia family, if you see there is division, then no, there is no such thing as Ahlul Bayt in this family. I'm saying this is a very simple. I'm saying life is very easy. Islam is the easiest religion in the world. Honestly, when I say religion, we say deen, but deen is a way of life. But Islam, the way that we know it, is the easiest, most concept to understand. We make it difficult because it's so easy. Something is so easy. We can't accept it so easy. We try to make it difficult. Is that it? Is that really it? Okay. Only 52 rakat namaz, like with the mustahab and the wajib. Can't we do 100 rakat namaz every day? Okay. Fasting for only 30 days. I want to fast for 100 days. Oh, God has said 30 days. Why do you want to fast for 100 days? No, but mustahab, okay, just mustahab fast. But why do you want to go over the top? Allah's made things easy for you. Why do you want to complicate it? You see, because we're not satisfied. We're not satisfied. But what we don't realize is it's the qualities of a person that makes them a human being. Not their beards, not how much they pray, not how much Quran they know. These are good, these are much of us. Learn them, I'm not saying to learn them. But it's the qualities and the characteristics that will take you. And inshallah, we've gone a bit late, and I'm not going to talk as much as I normally do, but I'll try to keep it short because I really want you to understand this. That this danger, that this virus that we should be fearful of is coming for all of us. All of us. First of all, none of us can escape death. None of us. And Allah says in the Quran very beautifully, reading the Quran, reciting the Quran, and understanding the Quran are completely different things. Completely different things. Which is why we've been blessed that in these 10 days of Muharram, Imam Hussein has shown us the visual aspect of Quran. He has brought everything. He's brought the Quran, he's brought all hadiths, he's brought all 124,000 prophets before his grandfather. He's brought everything in these 10 days. And he has shown us, this is the deen. This is the path. This is the way of life. If you can't read the Quran, if Arabic is not your language, if you don't understand it, and it's very dangerous, believe me, the Quran can misguide you so easily. The Quran is a very dangerous tool. I always say to people, don't just read it and translate it with what you think you're understanding, because it will misguide you. It will take you off the path. Like you see with ISIS. They kill you in the name of Quran, and they justify it. 30,000 people came to Karbala, and they killed Imam Hussein qurbatan in Allah to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I mean, we sit here, we laugh about it, we think, this is crazy, this will never happen to us. That's the thing, isn't it? We think we're immune from this virus, not good. You see, our communities, especially even COVID, we think we're immune from it. None of us take it seriously. But, Yeah. But this is what I'm trying to say to you. This Muharram has come. And why does it come at the beginning of the new year? The Arabic New Year. It's Allah is saying, you look up to this year, you come, Ramadan has come 3 months before. If you still haven't created and cleaned your heart, then let me show you a shortcut. Through the door of saying, there's a shortcut. You come in dirty, you will leave clean. So long as you come and understand through which door you are coming, which door you're going out. This is why they say the door of Hussein, the ship of Hussein is the quickest and the fastest and the easiest. Why? Because Imam Hussein gave his heart to Allah. Imam Ababa says, my grandfather Hussein gave the blood of his heart. I don't understand, why is it said blood? You know, it helps with the heart or the blood. Why does he say blood of his heart, not the blood of his body? Because the heart is a sacred place. Hussein, and he doesn't say Hussein gave like to get something in return. He gave without any expectations. Sometimes people come up to me, they say certain things, and it makes me smile. But sometimes, I see someone who gives sadaqah every week, gives sadaqah. It's a very good thing, charity gives sadaqah. But I said to him, why do you give sadaqah every week? He said, I really heard the Prophet has said, whoever gives sadaqah, he gets 70 times in return. So I said, you are doing a business trade with Allah. So this is not sadaqah. You can't call it charity. Because you are doing to get something in return. You got an expectation. You see? But Imam Hussein gave without any expectation. So what do we have to do? Why is the disease of the heart so bad? Because none of us are really infant. No matter what precautions we take, no matter how much we clean our faces, do wuzu 5 times a day. You know, especially Al-Sunnah wuzus. I mean, have you ever seen them do wuzus? Honestly, watch once when they do wuzu. You'll be fascinated by it, honestly. It's fascinating. But it doesn't matter even if you use the water of Zamzam to do that wuzu. If the heart is dirty, nothing is accepted. Nothing is accepted for it. Nothing. They say, see, we have a hadith, and all of you heard it. I'm not going to do suicide in Arabic because you've all heard it. The state you die is the state you will be raised up on. Yeah? So people say, oh, if you die hungry, you're going to wake up hungry. But they say this, don't they? People say this. If you die thirsty, you're going to be raised up thirsty. What they don't understand is this hadith is saying that if you die, the Satan is keeping out on that side, you rise up and kill him. Someone once asked me in the Majlis, and this actual question, as if Zainab asked Imam Sajjad. Someone asked me, said to me, do you think is it possible for Yazid and Shem to be done shafa'at on the other side? Do you think God will forgive? I said yes. God will forgive Yazid if he wants to. He will forgive Shem if he wants to. But even if God forgives them, Shem and Yazid have to work on their sifat. That disease that caused them to kill Ahlul Bayt. You see, again, I don't want to say this publicly because there's certain things you can't say publicly because they'll come for you. You're a kafir and you should be allowed in heaven. But I personally don't believe in the concept of heaven and hell either. It's a place, there's a fire. You know, they throw people in and then they bring it, and God's standing there watching the whole thing. No, people burning with God. Believe me, if I ever show you the true version of God, you will not need anything else. You will be too ashamed and too embarrassed to ever do anything against this God. Because the God that we have is the most kindest, the most beautiful, the most loving. You look at Imam Hussein is a mirror of God. So whatever you imagine Imam Hussein to be, multiply that by 10 trillion, billion, infinity, whatever number is, then you may understand the qualities. Which Imam Hussein says, in this world, no one will ever understand who Hussein ibn Ali is. No one. The only person that truly knows who Imam Hussein is Imam Zahar. Everyone else can come, they can guess. It's all conjecture. The alims can come, whoever can come, they can tell you Hussein was like this, but you will never know until you go to the other side. All I will say to you is Ahlul Bayt were the mirrors of God. You must have this cool. It's not the face, no. Come on, we're not talking about this. But they are the mirrors of the quality of God. And do you know how they looked at people? They looked at people with a mirror standing in front of them. This is one thing I just want. If you take this one thing from me today, all you need is this one thing. Whenever you come across someone, say for instance, someone has done something to you in the street, and you're just about to come out with your speakers. We're very we're just waiting for someone to say something to us, and it will come out like an AK-47, one after the other. But just before you do that, hold the mirror up. Imagine there's a mirror in front of you, and so you see yourself in that mirror. Would you be prepared to use those words? If you see a homeless person in the street and you walk past them, Hold a mirror up in front of them and see yourself. Because that could happen to anyone. Believe me, I've seen too much in this life. Rich people become poor, poor people become rich. So and so. It can happen to us. And this is how Ahlul Bayt live. Everybody they came across, everybody, whether it was Shim, whether it was Yazid, whether it was the father-in-laws of the Holy Prophet, whoever they came across, they didn't see them, they saw themselves. And they saw themselves in that position. I could be that person. I could be Shim. Imam Muslim could see, there's a mirror. I could be turned into a Shim. What did Shimmer do? Honestly, brothers and sisters, go and read about these people that turned up at Tawbah. Look at their qualities, who they were. Believe me, if I ever said to you, and I didn't mention any names, and I said to you, if you had a daughter, and I said to you, listen, there's a guy who's come for Rishta. Okay, tell me about him. What's he like? I said, this guy has been to Hajj on foot at least 16 times. On foot. He is Hafiz Kull Quran. He knows all the Quran by heart. He does namaz al-shab. 2, 3, 4 hours is namaz al-shab. The sajdas that he does are so much that his whole forehead is black. His beard is down here. Every Friday he does an hour. You will say to me, listen, I don't need to know anymore. Take my daughter, give it to me. So by the way, his name is Shem. He said, oh. So if I said there's shafa'at for Shem, there is shafa'at for Shem. There's shafa'at for Ibn Iblis. We have this in many hadiths, and I'll get onto it in a minute. But there's shafa'at for everyone. But what is he going to do with that qisada that he had in his heart? Honestly, again, someone asked the sixth Imam, and they said, listen, I don't believe the story of what happened to your mother Zahra. I don't believe it. For me, it doesn't make sense. He said, why? He said, how can you say the father-in-laws of the Prophet and their daughters, the wives of the Prophet, could do such a thing? How is that possible? Imam said one word. You know what he said? Hasad. Envy. Envy. So if you're an envious person, believe me, no matter how much martyr you do, zanjir you do, cut yourself open, kill yourself for Imam. Unless you get rid of that envy, that disease on the heart, no one can do it. Even Shem, let's say today is Qiyamah. Alright? And believe me, we would have more problem with Shem going to heaven than Ahlul Bayt. We would. And believe me, I always say thank God. I always say, honestly, I'm saying it now, it's recorded, it's home. I always say thank God we wasn't the Kaaba. Thank God. Because we would have stopped all coming back. Imam said, come here, Imam, this guy, as we see it. Look, when we had the majalises, and you see some people, other people turn up, why have you let this guy come in? I said, thank God we went to Kaaba, because the story would have ended badly. We would have ended, honestly, it would have ended badly. Right, so let's just say, for instance, Shem goes to heaven. But Shem takes that qualities that caused him to kill Imam Hussein with him into heaven. For him, heaven will become hell. So why do they use the word shafa'at? It comes from the word shafa'at, get cured. So unless you cure that disease in your heart, there is no shafa'at for you on the other side. And let me say something else. You see, sometimes we bring God down so much. And this is one of our mistakes. We bring God down so much. That we believe in the concept of shafa'at. If I ask any of you now, what is the concept of shafa'at? You will say, well, what happened is, look, we all do wrong things in our lives, yeah? But listen, we've done martyr for Imam Hussein, you've cried for Imam Hussein. What's going to happen is, what's going to happen? Allah's going to give you your book, it's going to come in your left hand, because you've done so many bad things. We're going to open the book, Allah says, read your book. And you know already there's so much in this, you start getting shameful. And you say, come on, where's Hussein? Why ain't going to turn up? Because I've been promised that he will come. So then what happens is, Allah will say, look, you've read your records. There's nothing in there that I can rescue you. So go towards hell. Suddenly, we believe in this concept. And if you think I'm saying wrong, then tell me. We believe in this concept. Suddenly, the doors of heaven will open. And this light will shine. And Hussein will come out on his throne. Angels either side of him. And he will say to Allah, Allah, he was one of my Azabas. He was one of my martyrs. It doesn't matter what he's done. Take him to heaven. What does this say to you? That Allah is unjust. Allah is cruel. Hussein is kinder than Allah. Because Allah wants you to suffer, punish. But Hussein has come and said, because of me, this concept is wrong. Saying is the mirror of God. You see? Now, what shall I say to you to convince you guys? Let's look in the Quran very quickly. In the Quran, because this is the Quran. If you understand it, then these things will make sense to you. Allah in the Quran has mentioned Hazrat Musa a lot, more than any other prophet. Hazrat Musa has mentioned it a lot. Why? Because it's very relevant to our times now. Very relevant. Hazrat Musa, everything he went through, right? In the end, he became face to face with Pharaoh. Now again, Pharaoh, we all think about Pharaoh. Believe me, if I count to you the amount of sins this Pharaoh has done, one of them is mentioned in the Quran, or two of them are mentioned in the Quran. One is he says, Ana Rabbukum al-A'la, I am the greatest God. What is sin? Another one, Allah mentions two of his sins. That's it, only two of his sins. But he has so many more. The other one is he would kill every boy born to Bani Israel, and he would keep their mothers alive so they could suffer. يُذَبَّحُونَ أَبْنَاءَهُمْ وَيَسْتَحْيُونَ نِسَاءَهُم, Allah says in the Quran. Why did he kill all of these boys? Because he had a dream that their boy Messiah will be born and he will come and take away your whole kingdom and he will be damaged. And when he asked one of his interpreters of a dream, what does this dream mean? He said, oh yeah, a boy is going to be born to Bani Israel, so therefore kill all the boys to Bani Israel. That guy didn't understand that dream that Pharaoh saw was actually God giving him glad tidings. That someone is going to be sent to you to guide you, to bring you towards God. But anyway, so someone advised him wrongly. This is why you should never listen to advice. So all the sins are on that person's neck as well. Okay. With all of these sins, Ana Rabbukum al-A'la, I've done this, I've killed all these boys. Allah sends Musa to Pharaoh for 17 years to guide him. This is why I'm saying to you, my brothers and sisters, you've got a God that even if we leave God alone, God will never leave us alone. And believe me, we are all creatures of God. This is why I said to you, don't look at anybody. Oh, he's Hindu. He's Sunni. Come on. How do you know that person's not better? Who created that Sunni? Who created it? Who's that God? Allah. Isn't it? Who created your Hindu neighbor? Allah. So they are all creations of Allah. But we judge them because we think we are better than everyone. But this quality is now, look, 17 years Musa preached to Pharaoh. And you all know the stories. Magicians came, the stick. And Allah says in the Quran, Musa, when you go and speak to Pharaoh, talk to him in a nice way. Musa was a bit hot. I don't know what was wrong. He was a little bit hot. He was like, he was like ready. I think he was he was just ready. He was ready to. He said to God, God, he's your enemy. He is saying he's God. You're asking me to talk to him nicely? I said, yes, he is my enemy. He is saying that he is God. But Musa, you were brought up in his house. He has the right to put father on to you. Those of your fathers were alive, it's the greatest blessing of Allah's people. Respect your fathers. Respect your fathers. Even they may not be on the deen, whatever you think they are, but they're your fathers. Allah is saying here, one of my greatest enemies that I mentioned in the Quran as God's enemy. Allah said, talk to you nicely because he has the right to put father on to you. This is why Rasulullah says, Ana wa Aliyun Ababayy hadhihi al-ummah. I and Ali are the fathers of this ummah, because the right of the fathers. No matter who your father is, what he's done, it doesn't matter. That's between him and his God. He's still your father. Okay? Now, what happens? You all know the story. Didn't work out. Pharaoh says, kill them. They, Bani Israel, the companions, the Shias of Israel, if you like, were with Musa, they were with Harun. They start fleeing towards the land of Israel from Egypt. They get to the river Nile. Look, what did we do? Oh, Musa, they started doubting. Is your really? What's going to happen to water? How do we cross? Allah separates the Red Sea. Yes? Separates it. They cross. They cross over safely. Pharaoh comes with his soldiers. They come into the water to cross. The water covers them. As soon as the Musa gets on the other side, Allah sends Jibreel down. And he said, Musa, did you not hear Pharaoh calling out to you? Why did you not rescue? Because Quran says, Pharaoh said, "Oh Musa, I believe now in what you were saying." So God said, "He called out to you. Why did you not turn back?" He said, "God, because I was in fear of coming. Anyway, it's too late." He only said that because he saw the waters drowning. Allah said to Musa, "I swear on my Izzat, Musa, if he had called out to me, this is calling out to you, all of us." This is where Hussein differs from Musa. Because Hussein, at the very last moments, now the last moments, Shem has come in to the the very last moment. He's pulled out the dagger. The women and children are watching. Okay, in front of them, he's doing this. Believe me, never anything. The sifat of these people, even though they were Muslims. The sifat of their characteristics was so bad that when Yazid heard the report of Karbala, he was shocked. He said to Imam Sajjad, he said, all I said to them was to go and stop Hussein. If you resist, then kill him. I didn't ask him to do anything else. But these people, I didn't ask him to trample the bodies. I didn't ask him to beat up the women and children. I didn't ask him to loot the tents. I didn't ask him to set up the fire. I didn't ask him to do any of these things. I'm shocked that they did it. These people of Kufa had so much hatred of Ali in their hearts. So much hasad, envy towards Ali in their hearts, that they went the extra mile. That I always say, I wish instead of the army of Kufa had come, the army from Sham would have come. Because they would have been decent at least. They would have done all these other things aftermath. But these people, they went the extra way. Why? Because they had diseases in their hearts. Now look, very quickly. Now look what happened. The Shias have gone, they've crossed into the land of Israel, the promised land. The promised land of Israel. Allah says they crossed safely. Now who's there? They've got a prophet. They've got another prophet by the name of Aaron. And all that's left with Musa is 400 pure Shias, you know, and 72 scholars of Bani Israel, alims. These are the people. They've all crossed. They get into the land. Allah calls the prophet up to a mountain. For 30 days, then he adds 10 to make it 40. The prophet's only going up for 40 days. 40 days only. But yet he says, even though I've not left this land, even though I've not left this world to go to another world, I'm just going up a mountain. Yet on this ground, from the altitude down, there needs to be a Basir there. So he leaves Harun as his Basir. And that is the only few days that Musa was up that Harun was actually a prophet. Because Harun died before Musa died. So he wasn't a prophet after Musa, he died before Musa. But for only 40 days, Harun was an actual prophet because the prophet of the time had gone up a mountain. And then they say to us, the prophet died without leaving a Basir. Anyway, we don't want to get into this. What happened when this prophet went up the mountain? The alims, okay, the prophet's gone. We are now the most learned of people. Forget about the Basir that's been left behind. We will rule the way we want to rule. So one of them, by the name of Samari, came up and he said to these Bani Israel, when you crossed over, you brought all your gold and your jewelry with you. Can you imagine? These people are fleeing for their lives. But the Jews of those days, they still didn't leave their gold and jewelry behind. They still brought it with them, you know? So he said, go and bring me all your gold. What are you going to do? I'm going to show you the God of Musa. Oh, wow, really? Because you know, people, until they see, they don't believe. Even though these are not the Shias, these are Allah says in the Quran, the chosen ones, Bani Israel, they're the chosen ones. We chose them amongst all the world. Now they've seen the miracle of Musa. They've crossed that river. They're on the other side, they're in safety. But now they start to doubt. They're not satisfied. So they want to see now the God of Musa. So somebody says, you want to see the God? I'll show you the God. He makes a fire. In that fire, he collects all of their gold, not his gold, yeah, clever he was. He collected all of their gold. He threw it into the fire. From that gold, he shaped a cow, little, or is it calf, isn't it? Small cow. Look at this statue. Oh, is this God? Yes, this is God. Prove it. I'm making it. Cowing. Oh. then you say, you ask you a question. How did that cat make that noise? How did that statue make that noise? You know what Allah says in the Quran? He said, somebody picked up some sand. What was so special about that sand? Allah says in the Quran, it was the footprints of the messenger. Now, which messenger was it? Was it Jibreel? Was it Musa? Was it Harun? We don't know. But Allah says in the Quran that one of the messengers who were there, his footprints, somebody picked up from that soil, threw it in the fire. That sand made that cow come to voice. So when people say to us, why do you prostrate on a piece of sand? Where does this sand come from? We say it gives shafa, the sand of Hussein. This is in the Quran. Allah says if the sand can make a golden statue come to life, then what does the sand of Hussein do? Does it not bring you to life? So they all start worshipping this cow. Look at these people. So Moses comes down, and he was hot. Come down. What's happened to my people? He grabs Aaron by the, Allah Quran says he grabs him by his beard, his hair on his face. What have you done? What have you done to these people? I only went out for 40 days, I'll come back. All the things we did in Egypt, it's all gone. He said, no, my cousin, my brother. I tried, but I was scared that if I started to say something, they would kill me, and everything would come about, would come about. The same words Amina used that were great when he was buried as a disciple. He used the same verses from the Quran. Now look, Musa, who was the leader? Oh, he was an alim by the name of Samari. Musa ran up to him. He grabbed him. He was about to do something to him. Khitab came from Allah. Musa, leave it alone. Musa said, why? God, can you see what he's done? He said, yes, whatever he's done, that this Samari has got a very good sifat, one very good sifat. What is that? He is Sakhi. He's a very generous person. And because of that one good quality, I'm asking you to do. So, this can come for any of us. We can be with Imam Hussein till the night of our Ashura. They say in our traditions there are up to 1,000, 2,000 people were with Imam Hussein on the night of our Ashura. Because if there were only 72 at the time, then Ibn Ziyad would not have sent forward 1,000 people to stop him. There's only 70 people, women and children. So there must be more. That's why he sent an army of 1,000. And how many of them left? This can happen to us. This is why we are in a very difficult time. Our Imam is here. We can't see him because whatever we do, he says that we do, the Father is there. He's present. Why is there 20 million turn up at Arba'in Karbala, but Imam is not here? Even though he's got a record and he said, if I had 400, like the 72 at Karbala, I would come back. Because he knows those 20 million, well, as soon as anything happens, like the night of Ashura, they will turn around and go away. He can't rely on 20 million of us. Of us. Me, I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about you guys, I'm talking about myself. He can't rely on me. I'm telling you now, Imam, so don't rely on me. I'm out. I'm out. Because I haven't worked on myself yet. My heart is still got some diseases in it that cannot be fixed. I need to work on them. I need to get rid of my envy. I need to get rid of my hasad. I need to get rid of my kina towards me. You don't have kina, dushmanan, everything. There's some people say, oh, you tell me we should have kina towards us. No. Forget that. Don't have kina towards your own brother and sister first. You want your mother and father first. Forget about the dushmanan, everybody. Forget about them. Why are you so concerned about them? It's as if we need a bogeyman, you know? We need a bad person somewhere. Otherwise the story's not complete. You know, we can't have God without having a shaitan. We can't have Imam Hussein without having a Yazid. You know, we can't have a Musa without having a Pharaoh. We always need a bad man, don't we? We always need someone to say, well, at least we don't like him. Forget about that. Look at yourself. Tonight, when you go to sleep, imagine it's your last night and you don't wake up in the morning. Inshallah, you'll wake up in the morning. Imagine if you didn't. And you had to read your records. Forget about the sins you've done. Because those sins, they will come and believe me, once you're saying will wipe those sins out. I'm saying don't go start sinning and saying, oh, next Mahar I'm going to come and I'm going to do Martin, I'm going to cry, and then all my sins are forgiven because that's what we're having connection. No, because there's no guarantee any of us will be here next time. Just like this year, so many for some of them. None of us are guaranteed one more minute on this earth. And you can show your heart. All I'm asking you is tonight, if you really want to show respect for Imams, clean your heart tonight. Clean your heart. And it's easy. Whoever's done you wrong, you forgive them. Someone said, always ask me, brother, will Allah forgive us? I said, can you forgive? Whose wrong do you have? You forgiven them? If you've forgiven them, Allah will forgive you. If you haven't forgiven, Allah will not forgive. Clean your hearts. Why do I say clean your hearts? How many of you right now, if I said to all of you now, imagine now, close your eyes, we're at Karbala. There's the door to the shrine of Imam Hussein, the actual shrine I'm talking about now. You know those doors? I've opened them for you. They're wide open now. All you can see is the marble grave of Imam Hussein. How many of you will run in there with your trainers to choose them? How many? How many? None of you. Yet what does Imam Hussein say? Oh Hussein, where is your grave? In the hearts of the believers. Hussein is here. Karbala is just a symbol. The Kaaba is just a symbol. For you to pray a Qibla. But this is where Kaaba is. This is where Quran is. This is where Hussein is. This is where the Wilayat of Ali is. In your heart. Yet how many of us walk in there dirty? Yawma, Quran says, Allah says, Yawma, La yanfa'u malin wala banun illa. Allah says, the day will come, the day of judgment, where your wealth and your sons will not come to your rescue. What will be rescued? What will come to your rescue? Illa man atahu biqalbin salim. Only that person will be rescued who comes with a clean heart, solemn heart, a heart free of disease. So these 10 days, you know what you've done. Also, you don't have to tell anyone what you do because that's a sin in itself. You know, in these 10 days, you've got to be there for sure. Be like accordingly as it is. That's what I'm saying. If before the morning of Ashura, Allah gave the order, stop this world right now. The earth has come to an end. It's day of Qiyamah. Do you know there was one person on the entire world that did not have more sins than Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyad? He was the most sinful person at Karbala on the morning of Ashura. If the world had come to a stop right there, no one, not even Shem, not even Yazid, no one had as much sins in their record as Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyad. Why? Because he made the women and children of Ahlul Bayt cry. He trembled, he put fear into the hearts of the children and Hazrat Zainab. They all started to cry when he turned up. Yet look at Hur's Sifat. He has one good quality, only one good quality. What was his good quality? Adab. He was well mannered. And believe me, Ibn Ziyad, who was the orchestrator, he was the head of the army, he was in Kufa, he didn't come to Karbala, but he was the brains behind it all. He was organized everything. And he was a very clever man, because Yazid knows who to pick. You know? Yazid may have been young, he may have been a drunkard, he may have been a womanizer, a monkey player, whatever he was. But he knew who to pick in his team. Ibn Ziyad was even more clever, because he knew who to pick for Karbala. He didn't send Shem to stop Imam Hussein. He didn't send Umar ibn Sa'd to stop. Why? Because these people knew Imam Hussein. Umar ibn Sa'd was in the army of Imam Hassan. Shem was what do we call? He was a veteran from Siffin. He fought alongside Amir al-Mu'mineen. He was injured in that battle. We would have gone touched his wounds and done, that's how holy he was. But Ibn Ziyad did not send them to stop Hussein because he knew they knew him. Hussein could say something to them and that, or they may have a religion affiliation, or because they knew Ahlul Bayt, grew up in Amir al-Mu'mineen, they made him soften and said, okay, Hussein, go wherever you want to go to Yemen, go wherever you want to go. But he sent Hur. Why? Because Hur did not have any affiliation with Imam Hussein. He didn't have any connection with him. He was not in any of the battles with his father. He was not with Imam Hassan. He was a complete stranger to Imam Hussein. So he knew to send him. And Hur was very powerful. If we look at Hazrat Abbas on our side, Hur was on that side. Very powerful person. Everyone was scared of him. Which is why he only came with 1,000 people, because he didn't need any more than that. The others came with 20, 30,000. He only needed 1,000 because he knew he was so powerful. Yet he comes face to face with Hussein. Now look at Hussein. They always say to me, I always ask this question so many times. Brother, why did they call Hazrat Abbas the Saqa of Karbala? Because he didn't manage to bring water back. So why do we call him the person who gives water to people? I say because Hazrat Abbas, on the 2nd of Muharram, when the army of God came, they looked around, looked, oh, there was 1,000 people. The horses were thirsty. He said to Abbas, all that water I've been telling you, from when we left Mecca to wherever you see water, collect water, collect water, collect water, collect water. We need it now. Why? There's 1,000 guests that have come for us. Look at the words of Imam Hussein. He did not say 1,000 enemy. He said 1,000 mihman. Guests. Abbas have come for us. We are the door of Karam. We are the door of Ahlul Bayt. We are the door of God. Abbas, look how thirsty these 1,000 are. But Abbas, look at how thirsty their horses are. This there Abbas gave water and he was known as Saqa'i. So this is where Imam Hussein tested him. He said, "Oh Hur, may your mother sit in your azar. May she cry over your body." Imagine someone said that to us about our mothers. Every expletive we know will come out. What did he tell her? He said it himself. He said, Hussein, had anyone else said anything about my mother, I would have replied. But how can I say anything to you when your mother is such God? There Hussein understood. The test is passed. This guy has got one good quality in every bad thing that he's done. He is able to be saved. Which is why on the day of Ashura, on the morning of Ashura, he came. They say he came in the darkness of the morning just before Fajr. In Arabic warfare, whenever you take your boots off, put it around your neck, that means I have surrendered, I come in peace. He left everyone, he took off his boots, he tied them around his neck. He got on his horse, he came very slowly, because he didn't want to get the horse's hooves to make a sound for the children of Hussein to asleep. He came very slowly, he creaked. He got to such a stage that Hazrat Abbas was guarding the tents. He said, "Who's that?" Moving in the darkness. He said, "I am Hur." As soon as Hazrat Abbas was going to ask me any more questions, Imam Hussein came out. And he said, "Abbas, leave him, he is my guest." Hur is my guest. Hur did not even get off his horse. He was still sat on his horse and he said to Imam Hussein, "Imam, can you give me ijazah to go fight in your way?" But before he said any of that, he asked Imam one question. His head was down, his boots were around his neck. He said to Imam, "Hal li min at-tawbah? Is there any forgiveness for you? What I have done to your women and children, do you think God will forgive me? Do you think there is any forgiveness?" What did Imam Hussein reply? He then said, "Yes, inshallah, God will forgive you, and I will do shafa'a." All he said to him was one word, Ya Hur, irfa rasak. Oh Hur, lift your head. Why are you hanging your head in shame? This is the door of Hussein. Anybody who comes to the door of Hussein, they should lift their head up high. So he met, and he fought, and he got killed. He was lying on the ground. He thought to himself, do you think Hussein will come? Do you think Hussein will come? Imam Hussein came. He lifted the head of Hur, and he put it on his lap. Hur's head, the blood was coming out. Imam saw that the wound was very bad. So Imam took out a yellow handkerchief that he had in his pocket. He tied the handkerchief to the head of Hur, the blood stopped coming out. One of the Iranian Shahs known by Shah Abbas, when he heard this story, he said, "Let's go to Karbala," because Shah Abbas was one of the first people who came to Karbala and made the shrines and spent a lot of money in it. He said, "I've heard this story, I don't know if it's true. When we get to the grave of Hur, I want you to open up his grave, and I want to see if that handkerchief is still." So they said Shah Abbas came, they found the grave of Hur, they opened it up, he saw the handkerchief was there. Shah Abbas said, "I am a Sayyid, we come from Sadat, I want the handkerchief of my grandfather." So he ordered his soldiers to open up the handkerchief. As soon as they opened up the handkerchief, the blood started pouring out. So he said, "Tie it back, just get me one thread of that handkerchief." Hussein does not care because he's the mirror of God, who you are, what you've done, what your past is. All he knows is that there is forgiveness for everyone, so long as you come with that clean intention. Whether you are whore who's fallen on the floor, Hussein came and put his face on their head and kissed them. Whether you are his son Ali Akbar, Hussein came and lifted his head. Even if you are the black slave of Abu Zar, if your name is John and you are the black slave of Abu Zar, even when he fell, he opened his eyes towards the end and he saw his head was in the lap of Hussein. The same thing that Hussein did at the body of Ali Akbar, he did it at the body of this black slave. Last words in the Shah finished. They say on the 13th of Muharram, when they came to bury the bodies of the Shuhada, each person was tasked to bury someone. They said, we can't find the body of John, this black slave. Where is his body? They asked Imam Sajjad Bani Asad. They said, where is the body of this black slave of John? He said, go and smell. Wherever you find the most beautiful smell of musk, that is the body of John. You see now, it doesn't matter, black, white, whatever you do, you're a slave, you're a king, whatever you are. It's what they look at in your hearts. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on this beautiful night, in these nights that Allah has given us a chance to clean ourselves and clean our hearts, that we take this opportunity and we clean the shrine of Hussein with our tears. Every single one of you has got the shrine of Hussein in your hearts. So use this opportunity to clean it. Inshallah, you will be written down as one of the companions of Hussein. And more importantly, you will become one of the companions of Imam Zaman who passed away. We believe in that. We will be ready to come. Inshallah. اللهم صل على فاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها بعدد ما أحاط به علمك. اللهم أجل لوليك الفرج، أجل لوليك الفرج، أجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والنصر، وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته ومحبيه وخادميه. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Ya Hussein, 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 Ya दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये मुहर्रम दुनिया में मज़लूम हुसैन पिता गुज़रे मज़लूम हुसैन पिता गुज़रे दुनिया को बनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है। हम पूछते हैं उन लोगों से जो दर्द दिलों में रखते हैं हम पूछते हैं उन लोगों से जो दर्द दिलों में रखते हैं क्या अपने नबी के बेटी का क्या अपने नबी के बेटी का गरबार जलाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में कुछ गौर करो ये खून हकीमत फरमाया में कुछ गौर करो ये खून हकीमत फरमाया बदलूं में हुसैन के मातम से बदलूं में हुसैन के मातम से क्यों खून बहाया जाता है ये माह दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है बेताब दस्तगर झूले में जाऊं कहीं ना मैं पीछे बेताब दस्तगर झूले में जाऊं कहीं ना मैं पीछे शोके शहादत के माँ के शोके शहादत के माँ के बच्चे में भी गाया जाता है मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है कासिम की तमन्ना थी पहले वो अपनी जान निसार करे कासिम की तमन्ना थी पहले वो अपनी जान निसार करे दौड़ा के घोड़े लाशों पे दौड़ा के घोड़े लाशों पे पामाल कराया जाता है मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम दुनिया में हर साल मनाया जाता है ये माह मुहर्रम या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या में आकर आंसू बहाकर मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ मैदान आकर आंसू बहाकर मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो मैदान आकर आंसू बहाकर
मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान आकर आंसू बहा के। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान आकर आंसू बहा के। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान आकर आंसू बहा के। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान आकर आंसू बहा के। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो। सैर की बिखरी लड़ियां उठाकर, सैर की बिखरी लड़ियां उठाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो। तस्बीह के दाने बिखरे हुए थे, तरको बला की तपती जमीन पे। तस्बीह के दाने बिखरे हुए थे, तरको बला की तपती जमीन पे। पर इन्ना लिल्लाह सजदे में जाकर, पर इन्ना लिल्लाह सजदे में जाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो। खेमे की दर से माथे की रही जैसे उठाया बड़े को शाने। खेमे की दर से माथे की रही जैसे उठाया बड़े को शाने। दो दानू होकर चादर बिछाकर, दो दानू होकर चादर बिछाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो। भाई हसन की तू है निशानी, रोती रहेगी तुझसे जवानी। भाई हसन की तू है निशानी, रोती रहेगी तुझसे जवानी। पामाल टुकड़े सीने लगा कर, पामाल टुकड़े सीने लगा कर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो। सैर की बिखरी लड़ियां उठाकर, सैर की बिखरी लड़ियां उठाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम कहाँ हो, मैदान में आकर आंसू बहाकर। मजलूम बोले कासिम का हो मैदान में आकर कर मजलूम बोले कासिम का हो मैदान में आकर मजलूम बोले कासिम या हुसैन 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 मौला के माता हसन या हुसैन मौला के माता हसन या हुसैन 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 वो आबिदे बीमार था वो आबिदे बीमार था चलने से जो लाचार था चलने से जो लाचार था और शाम का बाजार था शाम का बाजार था और मुस्तफा की बेटियां मौला के माता हसन या हुसैन मौला के माता हसन या हुसैन मौला के माता हसन या हुसैन या हुसैन हुसैन या 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 हुसैन हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन वो आबिदे बीमार था वो आबिदे बीमार था चलने से जो लाचार था चलने से जो लाचार था और शाम का बाजार था शाम का बाजार था और मुस्तफा की बेटियां मौला के माता हसन या हुसैन मौला के माता हसन या हुसैन 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 शबीर की वो लाडली शबीर की वो लाडली सीने पे जो जाके पली सीने पे जो जाके पली जिसकी आवाज में जली जिसकी आवाज में जली जो मौला के माता हसन या हुसैन मौला के माता हसन या हुसैन 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 हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन वो बेवफा पास था वो बेवफा पास था वो बेवफा पास था वो बेवफा पास था कुपियों की जो एक रास्ता कुपियों की जो एक रास्ता कुपियों की जो एक रास्ता कुपियों के जो एक रास्ता पानी मिला जो ना पिया पानी मिला जो ना पिया मासूम का एहसान मौला के माता हसन या हुसैन मौला के माता हसन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन वो असगरे बेशीर था वो असगरे बेशीर था और हुरमला का तीर था और हुरमला का तीर था प्यासा गला क्यों खटखटा, प्यासा गला क्यों खटखटा, रोई जमीन और आसमान, मौला हक इमाम या हसन या हुसैन, मौला हक इमाम या हसन या हुसैन, 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 या हुसैन।
सारे हाजिर की दुआ देखिए समझ के पीछे सारे हाथ बुलंद करके या रब हक ज़हरा तौफीक ये अता हो, मरने से पहले यारा दीदार करबला हो, या रब हक ज़हरा तौफीक ये अता हो, मरने से पहले यारा दीदार करबला। सब के पढ़िए या रब हक ज़हरा तौफीक ये अता हो, मरने से पहले यारा करबला कि जो अर्ज़ करबला है हर अर्ज़ के सिवा है, इस खाक करबला में शह का लहू मिला है, हर दवा मर्ज की ये खाक ही दवा हो, मरने से पहले यारा दीदार करबला हो, यारा हक ज़हरा तौफीक ये अता हो, मरने से पहले दीदार करबला हो। कि मैं भी तो मातमी हूँ, ज़ाकिर हुसैदा का नौहा पढ़ा है मैंने, हम शक्ल मुस्तफा का इस ज़ाकिरी का मेरी तकदीर में सिला हो, मरने से पहले यारा दीदार करबला हो, यारा कि ज़हरा तौफीक ये अता हो, मरने से पहले यारा दीदार करबला हो। इंशाल्लाह हम सबको अगले साल जाने की तौफीक नसीब हो। किया नमाज शब में बस ये दुआ करूं मैं, कुछ देर उस ज़मीं पर मजलिस बपा करूं मैं, हर मातमी के लब पर हर दम यही दुआ हो, मरने से पहले यारा दीदार करबला हो, यारा कि ज़हरा तौफीक ये अता हो, मरने से पहले यारा दीदार करबला हो, यारा कि ज़हरा तौफीक ये अता हो, मरने से पहले यारा दीदार करबला हो।
सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि या अबा अब्दुल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूल अल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या खातमल अंबिया, अस्सलामु अलैका या सय्यदल अंबिया, अस्सलामु अलैका या मुहम्मद अल मुस्तफा, अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूल अल्लाह व अला ज़ौजतिकल मुबारकतल वफिया खदीजतल कुबरा उम्मुल मुमिनीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूल अल्लाह وعلى ابنتك وبضعتك فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى أخيك ووسيك بالحق علي أمير المؤمنين سيد المسيح. السلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى ولديك الإمامين الهمامين الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. السلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى ولدك من ولد الحسين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلفاء الهادي المهدي. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان الأمان الأمان من فتنة الزمان. أجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وجعلنا من أعوانك وأنصارك ومحبيك وخادميك. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا معينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها سبيلا. صلوات محمد
صل على محمد نرى حیدری
یا علی. بارو مرسوانی دید جنابی الانت